Hey guys, welcome into the Sportscast here with your hosts Brian and Craig. Craig, my man, how you been? Oh man, I'm so glad to be back. Football season's back. That means we have 2 episodes a week. Plenty to talk about and get into here today. We're gonna go over the top 5 matchups of Week 1, and then we'll get into at the end of the episode. We really haven't talked to me and Craig about the Micah Parsons trade to Green Bay. So let's get the top 5 games, Craig. We'll start off with let's start off with the opener. I mean, this has got to be one of the top 5 games. The Dallas Cowboys travel into Philadelphia, starting off a divisional game for the Cowboys and the Eagles. What do you got in this one, and what are some matchups you're looking forward to seeing?
Well, it's always concerning when you go to the House of the Champs on banner night. You know, there'll be a huge celebration before the game, and obviously Philly's a tough place to play as it is, and then you add in the excitement of banners and trophies, and they'll have that place rocking. Basically, you gotta weather the storm if you're Dallas. You got to get through the first couple drives. You got to see, maybe strike first and try to take the crowd out of it a little bit. Maybe an early turnover. Obviously the Eagles are going to be flying around. One of the things I'm looking for is, can Dallas run the football better? Right now, we don't know. The offensive line that you're going to use never really played together in the preseason. Dallas rested a lot of their starters. I have not heard. I don't think the rookie in Tyler Booker is going to play. I'm assuming he's still recovering from his leg injury that they thought was an ACL, but it turned out to be basically a broken leg or fractured leg or whatever. So who's going to take his place? What kind of continuity does the offensive line have? And who are you going to use at running back? Maffa had the best of the preseason, but Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams never played. So what can Javonte Williams bring? What is Pickens? And does the addition of Pickens do what you think it's going to do and take some focus off Lamb and give him some more one-on-one coverage? And what's the defense look like without their leader? Micah Parsons is obviously maybe not your middle linebacker, maybe not your signal caller, but clearly has been your heart and soul of that defense for the last several years. So what do you look like defensively against a team who had 2,000-yard rusher, MVP corner, candidate quarterback, and 2-3 stud wide receivers and a really good tight end? So it's going to be a test. If they can answer the bell and even keep it close, it'll give Cowboy fans some hope. But I don't know.
Who are you picking to win that game?
I don't think you can. I mean, I think if Dallas wins, it would be a miracle. It would be. You would have to play the perfect football game. I think. I think with all the things against you, I don't think Dallas. I would be willing to bet they're probably 10-point underdogs. I mean, I don't think
Maybe.
I don't think Vegas ever goes that high, but normally the home team is already 3 or 4 just off the brat. I just think it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's interesting with the Cowboys, and I, hear this on the radio today, and it seems to be true with them. It's when you think they're going to be good, they usually disappoint, and when everyone's counting them out, they're going to be bad, then they seem to rally up and they're better than most people think. But this one's going to be tough. Now, when it comes to Super Bowl trophies and celebrations like that the next year, sometimes that can hurt the team. Sometimes they come out a little lackadaisical. With Philly here, I think they're going to win this football game. I still got too many questions for Dallas. Who's going to rush the quarterback now? If you don't get to the quarterback, Jalen Hurts is going to be able to throw the ball with some good wide receivers. They got to be able to stop the running game. Saquon is not going to be that workhorse, I think, like he was last year for the Philadelphia Eagles, rushing for over 2,000 yards. I don't think he's going to be that guy again. He'll be a playmaker and stuff. I got Philly winning this game. I just think on the road, at home, it's Dak's first game back, getting continuity back with everyone. You hit it. Who's the running back? I think Blue's a really good running back for you guys out of Texas, but he's been injured. So we'll see who steps forward there on the running back room. Like I said, too many questions. I got Philly winning this one as well. So it should be a good game. I don't think Philly's going to blow anybody out of the water. It's probably a 24-17 Philadelphia.
I mean, I'll be curious just to see who they activate from the running. You're not carrying full running backs, I don't think, into the first game. You're not going to have Maffa. You're not going to have, I don't even know if you have Blue active. I think right now it's probably going to be Sanders and Javonte Williams until somebody in practice shows something different or until somebody gets hurt. I think those are your two running backs. But you didn't see either one of those guys in the preseason, so you have no idea what they're capable.
And Moffitt did really good at Clemson.
He did.
But
and he did better the preseason because he was the only guy that skated through without an injury. Sanders, Miles Sanders had an injury. Blue missed 2 games because of injury. Javonte Williams just didn't play. Dak didn't play. Lamb and Pickens didn't play. So you don't know what this offense is going to look like. You have no idea.
All right, the next game is the random Friday night game. We got Kansas City going to, I guess it's their road game, but we're playing it in Brazil.
Oh, no.
And I hope that Kansas City and Los Angeles Chargers can get out of this game without injury because Green Bay played there last year with the Eagles, and it cost us dearly with Jordan Love and Kenny Clark. So they're playing on the Brazil field. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to have to go with Kansas City here. Just they'll probably win a game in some stupid manner and they'll win by 3 or something. But the Chargers have a chance to win this football game. I think Kansas City, they were great last year. They made it to the Super Bowl, but they had a lot of lucky wins. The games were super close. I think teams are catching up to them. The Chargers could win this game. It's not like they can't. I think they were coached very well last year. Harbaugh, they had a year than most people think, especially with Herbert injured throughout the year. Looking back to prove himself. I give the edge to Kansas City on this one. And they're not really on there. There's no home field advantage when you're in Brazil. Okay. So you can't play the home field advantage card. And LA doesn't really have any fans out there for the Chargers anyway. So give me the Chiefs on the road in Brazil, and you just hope and pray that no one comes out of this game injured.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was in Brazil. I knew they talked about going back, but man, hopefully the NFL has done something to make sure that field's in better shape than it was last season because
you'd hope so.
You have a couple, really, really big names that in Herbert and Mahomes and Kelsey. You don't want to see somebody go down for the season that early on a field, especially over a field, injury, go with the blows a knee out or something on a turf deal. I think Kansas City, you have to go with them. You're right. The first 7 games last year, we sat here and looked at each one and thought they could be 2-5, but they were 7-0. And so, couple calls that were questionable, a couple, this guy's toe was over the back of the end zone because he had a, size 14 gunboat on, didn't wear white cleats when he, but I think Kansas City's probably the better football team and probably comes out with a win.
100%. Next game here, and this could have been, this is a Sunday night game. Let's go there. Let's go Sunday night football. Baltimore traveling to the Buffalo Bills, and this one's going to be a good one. These two get together. It's usually a damn good game. Josh Allen, look, we gotta win one, Josh. All right, for Buffalo, you've got to win one. This has got to be the year. We say that every year. It seems like this is the Josh Allen revenge tour. and they don't end up getting over the hump.
I think last year was pretty well the Josh Allen revenge tour. He won the MVP, but you look at the quarterback on the other side. He has MVP numbers. Neither of us really sign off on that. You know, we don't put stock into him. I don't know where you lost faith in him. I lost faith in him where he didn't even show up for his team in a playoff game
100%.
when he was injured, you know, quote unquote injured, and you didn't even come on the sideline and support your guys. To me, that's where I would have drawn the line if I'm the head coach. But they've put all the stock into him. They put all the money into him. Would be very again. Here's another guy in Derrick Henry. You look at him like you do Saquon and go, can you do it again? We thought Henry was going to be over the hill.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that they were getting just a washed up running back, and he almost wins the MVP and proves us all wrong and kind of finds a fountain of youth. Does Henry have anything left in the tank, or was you know, just a last hurrah? And you know, if they can't run the football like they did last year and help Lamar out, I think that was a huge help for Lamar, because you had to respect what Henry was doing. You had to put more guys in the box, which opened up down the field, you know, for him. Yeah. So I have to go with Buffalo in this, and Josh Allen, and but like we said, they didn't make a lot of changes in the offseason, and teams that do that normally get left behind.
Yeah, I got to go with Buffalo too. I have them picked to win, and I did that just the fact that they're at home. It's a tough place to play. Baltimore, you know, this would be a good win for them. I just don't, you know, they should have won the opener last year when they played Kansas City, and Lamar Jackson missed a wide open guy in the end zone. And then it comes down to those plays. I don't think Lamar's the guy, but you're right. If Derrick Henry is not the Derrick Henry he was last year, he kind of surprised us all. And I think this offense is hurt a little bit. We'll see what kind of Derrick Henry comes out. They're going to be loading the box up for him and see. But I got Buffalo on the road or at home winning this one because they're at home. It's going to be it's probably a 3-point game. I want to see Josh Allen come out and be aggressive, though. Take that final drive, put the team on your back like you did last year. And it's going to take that kind of effort all year long to get your team where they want to go from Josh Allen. So I got Buffalo winning. The next one, Craig, could have been Sunday night, could have been Monday night, it could have been the opener. It's Detroit at Green Bay. And this one is going to be a slobberknocker, I think, on the offensive side of the football. And both teams got to come out and really start scoring. I think we're talking about a 35-31 point game. And I got Green Bay winning. I got Green Bay winning at home. I'm interested to see with Detroit if the coordinators missing is going to affect them.
Yeah, no.
I think that's the biggest question mark with Detroit, and that offensive line. Losing the people you did on it is going to hurt as well. Green Bay, you know, Jordan Love healthy. We've got obviously the addition of Micah Parsons to hype up the team, who's going to be taking an epidural apparently for the game to play.
Apparently the back injury might have been real. I don't know.
Yeah. With our addition to Matthew Golden, I just think I'm giving to the team at home here. This is a 50-50 game for me. It could go either way. Green Bay's at home. The crowd's going to be electric. And I think we need to come out and score first and just put it on them. But I think it's going to be like a 35-31 Green Bay victory. And it's going to take a big offensive – I think it's going to take a lot of offensive points to beat this Detroit team this season. But who do you got in this game, Craig, and what are you looking forward to?
Boy, I think to see what the coordinators look like and what they can do is going to be the biggest test of it all. No one really knows. Obviously, Detroit didn't show any of their hand in preseason. You have no idea what this offense is going to look like. You have no idea what this defense is going to look like. Does Jamar Gibbs pick up where he left off? Does Montgomery pick up Sonic and Tails over there? Picking up where they left off. I don't know. 50-50. Yeah, no, I just think Campbell will have him ready. I think division games, Detroit's got a field goal kicker that is good from damn near anywhere on the field. That's what it came down to last year was
Yeah, we scored a
He
touchdown and
he
went
falls
ahead.
down. He falls down, hands the ball off. They get a first down, and Bates kicks the field goal and wins.
We scored a touchdown, and then it got called back with a penalty. We tied the game with a field goal. They drove down and won it with a field goal.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what it comes down to. A game long Bates field goal to win the game. Give me Detroit, but I mean it can go if Green Bay comes out and wins it, it wouldn't be a shocker, especially being at home. Man, the NFL did some.
It's gonna be a good one, man.
Did some dirty schedule work in week 1. Cowboys, Eagles, Packers, Chiefs. Chiefs and Chargers. Yeah, I mean,
you got
5 or 6 division matchups right off the jump.
And that brings us to our 5th game, Tampa at Atlanta.
Yeah.
And this one's interesting because we talked about it in the podcast when we went over the division, the NFC South there. My biggest thing for Tampa is consistency with Baker Mayfield. You've got to see him be consistent. He had a great year last year, but he kind of sends up and flow where he'll have one good year, one bad year. Last year, he had one heck of a year. Teams aren't really talking about Tampa too much because I think they get a lot of hate because of the division they're in. When you beat up on your bad teams, it's like, how good are they? They've got to put a staple point on this season. They got to blow these. They got to be blowing teams away. They've got to be so far ahead of this division because of how bad it is, I think, for them to get real recognition. But then on the other hand, you look at Atlanta. Penix Jr. is going to start this season. He looked pretty good last year. I mean, he did, he was making some throws where I was like, oh man, this guy, he's got a dart of an arm. He can move around in the pocket. I think they're looking forward to the Michael Penix phase of Atlanta and see where he can go. I really think Atlanta is going to surprise some people this year. I wanted to pick him, Craig. I wanted to pick him here, but I think Baker Mayfield is going to be too much, and I give the slight nod, even though they're on the road, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Baker had the season that he had until, I don't know, a little over halfway through. I look at the numbers when I start hearing people go, Baker could be the MVP. I'm going, what are people talking about? No, I mean, I know he's having an okay season, and then I looked at the numbers, and I was like, well, wow. He really could be. Like, he has the same numbers as these guys that are in the discussion. And then I look at it and go, he's doing it without Mike Evans, and he's doing it without Chris Godwin, and he's doing it without, any of his top. He's doing it with a bunch of guys that are off the practice squad, and now you add Mbuka to that mix, who was very good at Ohio State, and basically, if you put it within a window for Mbuka, he's gonna snatch it down. He's a long-armed, big-bodied wide receiver who has speed, who's a very good route runner, who's, and then add in
he's the guy I wanted in the draft if we go back to draft night.
And then add in Bucky Irving, who has another year under his belt, and I mean, Tampa is a very good football team. Now, flip the coin on the other side of that. Here is Penix, where he had his first camp as the number one guy. You've got a guy who is being drafted in almost every fantasy league as the number one guy in Bijan Robinson. I don't know what that enamor is because he hasn't put up the Saquon numbers. He hasn't put up the Derrick Henry numbers, but yet everybody has flocked to this guy and thinks this guy is going to have an MVP caliber season. I just think Tampa's got too many weapons. Until Atlanta can prove me wrong, I think Tampa has too many weapons, and I think Baker goes in there and takes care of business.
Yeah, he had 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions.
See, the 16, I think the 16's a little high. I think he needs to cut that down to single digits. But I mean, Baker, we all
45 again. Ooh.
Yeah, but we all know Baker is a gunslinger and doesn't back down from challenges. It doesn't back down from I can make that throw. So yeah, but I think he would need to cut the interception rate in half, and then 45 to 4,700 yards, and he's right there. He's right there where he needs to be to back up the money that he got, and I think Tampa has another good season.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. All right, guys. Well, that is our top 5 games of the week. We're going to come here on Tuesdays. We're going to give you some our top games of the week we're looking forward to, and then we will maybe give you some headlines or some other sports topics here. I think the headline this week is obviously, and me and Craig haven't really been able to talk about it, but the Micah Parsons trade to Green Bay. And obviously, being a Green Bay fan, I love it. And I love it for, obviously, the player we got is an amazing player. It's going to be able to rush the quarterback. He's going to have, a lot of people aren't talking about what he's going to add to the team, though. He frees up a lot of other players. He frees up Gary's not going to take a double team now. Van Ness maybe not take a double team now. Edgerrin Cooper, great running back last year. If you watch Green Bay games, you know who he is. This guy's going to be special. He was all pro as a rookie. All right. He got all pro votes as a rookie. Absolutely insane linebacker from Texas A&M. Absolute beast. He's going to free up a lot for them because you're going to have to pay attention where Micah Parsons is. But the other reason I love it so much, Craig, is Green Bay doesn't make these moves. We don't make these moves. We got a free agent in Reggie White, right? It was an absolute beast, and we won the Super Bowl. We went out and we got Charles Woodson, but we don't make these all-in moves. We rely on the draft. We hope we hit on the draft, and if we can get a guy for cheap, we might do it. But we got a new guy in town that took over Mark Murphy's job. His name's Ed Policy, and he is, hey, I'm here to win now, and I 100% respect it. I'd rather go all in and fail than never go all in at all and hope that you have enough. And I'll live or die by that. So if this pans out and we don't win a Super Bowl in the next 3 or 4 years, at least we tried. So I'll take that all day. I think this is going to lead to, I already thought we were winning our division without him. He makes us a lot better. I'm just hoping that the back injury is something that just kind of goes away here and he's not playing on epidurals throughout the whole season. But we shall see. So that's the way I see it as a Packer fan, Craig. How do you look at it out of a Dallas Cowboys standpoint?
I never really thought the back injury. I thought the back injury was just, hey, if I tell you I have a back injury, you can't find me. It saves me the fine. Remember a few years ago, the Players Association said, it used to be when they held out, they got fined, but once they agreed, the team could swipe the fines under the table and they would all go away. Well, a couple of years ago, they changed that and said, no, when you do this, the fines are legitimate and you have to pay them. We're not waiving fines anymore. If you do this, you will be fined and you will have to pay it. So I thought the back injury was just that. The avoidance. I'm in a contract holdout, but I'm also not going to lose 40,000, 20,000, whatever it is a day to not show up. And I'm going to sit here on the sideline. I'm going to get treatment, and then I'm going to wait for my contract. Yeah. And as soon as I get my contract, the back injury will be healed, and away we'll go and we'll play football. He goes over to Green Bay, and apparently it is a L4, L5 sporadical, sprain of some, disc or something between there, and he's going to need an epidural, and I don't know what the fix is for it. I don't know if it's rest. I don't know if it's surgery. I don't know. There really hasn't been a medical discussion on what the remedy is, other than if we can mask the pain for 3 or 4 hours on Sunday, that's what we're going to do. And that tells me that doctors have said he can't do any more damage to what it is. We'll mask the pain and we'll deal with it after the.
Well, and obviously for those people that don't know, or when you trade for a player, they have to pass a physical.
Correct.
The team gets to look at him and he has to pass the physical. If this was something so severe that they're going, oh man, I can't. We're reneging that trade and we're sending Micah Parsons back to Dallas. So I don't think it is severe enough to be. Man, he's going to be career-ending in next year. One wrong hit. He might not. Maybe we put him on a snap count on Sunday and we don't throw him out there every single snap. I think it's going to be okay. Back injuries are tough. I'd rather be a foot.
Can't prove it. Can't.
Something.
It's hard to prove. It's hard to see. As for the trade itself, I'm not a fan. Yes, you have 2 first-round picks, but we both know that Green Bay was already good, and you just made them better. So those first-round picks are going to be, even without Micah Parsons, those first-round picks are probably in the 20s. How many drafts have we covered where me and Ryan have gone through and went, we got 15, 18, 16 first-round grades. The chances are who you're going to get with the Green Bay pick is a high second. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
So you got 2 high second-round picks and a defensive tackle that's already been in the league 10 years and could tell you tomorrow, hey, I've had enough. I'm going to walk away. I don't think he does, but he could. 10 years of a defensive lineman getting in car crashes 50 times a game. At any point, Kenny Clark could go, yeah, you know what, guys? This isn't for me. I'm going to go hang with the kid. To me, that kind of return for what was the most menacing player in the game doesn't add up.
Jerry Jones has a saying, and he broke it.
Yeah.
And Jerry Jones' saying is, don't let your money get mad. And he let his money get mad. If you're telling me the Cowboys are trading Micah Parsons, I could see it.
3 first round, 4 first round.
Yeah. I could see it. If this was going to happen, they should have done it in March. Or you wait out a year and you try again.
Yeah. He's under contract. You tell him You got to show up to work. You got 3 years of deal. If we can't work this out, you let the cap again grow, or do like they did with Hendrickson in Cincinnati. Here's 1 year. Here's $30 million. You just freed up $20 million from Lamb 2 days earlier. As soon as you saw that, every Cowboy fan went, "There's Micah's money. There's Micah's money. They just freed it up. They're going to get the deal done. They just rework CD Lamb, and they're going to get the deal done."
Yeah,
and
this is you got back what you got back for Luka Doncic.
Yes, a bag of potato chips and some, jacks. You got
an old guy who plays defense,
right? And a couple draft picks that won't matter.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to disrespect Kenny Clark. I really like him. He's coming off his worst year.
And he can be solid.
He got injured on the Brazil field, and he wasn't the same all year long. And he'll tell you that. It was his worst year. I looked around going,
but Micah Parsons, he is not.
Ooh.
He's not.
Yeah.
Do the Cowboys need a run stopper? Absolutely. Has their run defense been the worst in the league for the last several years? Absolutely.
And that's on the Dallas. That's not on Micah Parsons, right? I mean,
right.
Because so many fans have brought up that argument, and I'm like, who's the one who drafted Mozzie Smith, who's not a good football player?
Who is no longer on the roster anymore?
Who drafted? Yes. Miss me with all the, your team ain't going to be able to stop the run anymore. We got other guys that can do that.
Right.
Kenny Clark is a dog, and he will be good for you, but
he will help.
Anthony Davis will have some good games for you and help, but he's not Micah Parsons. And all this, you don't gear up to stop the run when this is a passing league. The NFL's been a passing league for how long? And you're going to gear up to stop the run.
And you lost your other pass rusher in Lawrence. Yep. Now you lose Parsons. You have nobody to rush the passer. Your back end of your defense is minimal at best because your best cornerback, quote unquote, is not going to play the first couple games in Diggs.
He might. Diggs? Did you hear the reports? They're saying he might play game 1.
Okay.
It's a game time decision, but
right.
I don't think
even if he plays, he gives up.
Best.
You wanna beat Trayvon Diggs, double move, and he jumps the first move and gives up more yards than deal. Even the year that he had all those interceptions, if you look at it, he gave up more yards than any cornerback in the league. He's boom or bust. He's going to jump every route. If you've watched if I can tell that from my living room, the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator can surely say, well, we'll just go out there and run him out to the flat. Diggs jumps the flat, and we'll go up the sideline, and away we'll go, and we'll have 6 points all day long. I like Bland. They signed, Duran Bland owes Micah Parsons a credit card or a Christmas card because he got all the money. He backs up the Brinks truck, gets $92 million. That was probably earmarked. Part of that, most of that was earmarked for Micah. They don't sign Micah, so Duran Bland gets it. So listen, Jerry is absolutely running this thing into the side of the mountain, and there's nothing we can do about it. And even when he leaves, that apple didn't fall very far from the tree. Steven's the one doing most of the contracts right now anyway. So if you're a Dallas fan, buckle up, because as long as the Jones family is running the Dallas Cowboys, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get, we're going all in. We're going all in. And all of a sudden, here we are. Mike.
My bad. All right, guys. Well, that's the show tonight. We're going to give you smaller episodes on Tuesdays. We've got, or I should say on Wednesdays. Give you our smaller shows, give you our top 5 games of the week, maybe a little discussion at the end, and then we'll get in on our live show on Friday night and give you a little more detailed stuff here on the Sportscast, guys. Grateful to be back. Grateful for all those that subscribe, take time to listen to the show. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and come follow us on YouTube and TikTok. God bless, and remember,
keep it outspoken.